here with the one and only Diego Luna. So good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Oh my gosh, it's been ages. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Early on Andor season 2, but congratulations on the first season. I haven't had a chance to talk to you about it, and it's so, people love it so much. There's such a passion for it, and I will say, I'm here on Disney property, but I will say a lot of people feel like it's their favorite Disney series. Why do you think that is?
You said everything. Let's finish this interview. That's
We're good.
It's everything that
And that's
needs
a
to be said. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I think it's because there's a lot of love behind this project. We took it very seriously, you know, like we said, like, all right, if we're going to do something new in the world of Star Wars, in this universe, it has to be different. It has to be unique. We have a great team, a great leader. Tony Gilroy is not just a great writer, but a great director and a guy that thinks film, you know, and the team he put together is all people that love film, love filmmaking, and we took this first season as 4 films, you know, we committed to it as 4 films, and same thing with season 2. It takes ages, you know. It's been 6 years now since I started talking about Andor. So,
and even longer since you've been playing the character.
It's been 10 years of playing Cassian. But again, if I was like, if we go back to this character, it's because we're gonna do something very special. Because for me, Rogue One is already very special.
Yeah.
It's a different film that connected differently with an audience, and that reconnected with people like me that we've been like fans of Star Wars for 30 years, you know, for 40 years. It's a long time. So it's a very mature show. It's very realistic as you can be in the universe of Star Wars, right? This is a show about the people. This is a show about revolution and about everyday life in this galaxy. Therefore, yeah, we are very meticulous in the way we approach, you know, every scene, every moment, every character, and I think people are happy because of that.
You know, there's something about, like, when you say Star Wars, there's something magical in it. Just talking to you about Star Wars and the love that people have, and people have different. But I believe, and I don't know if you believe, like that third act of Rogue One that people still talk about as being some like the greatest visuals that they've seen in all the Star Wars.
And it makes you also, if you revisit the first film shot, it makes you see it differently, you know. So something that was done so many years after becomes so important for the genesis of the project, you know. Makes you see it through a different perspective, you know. And every time you see those plans, and every time you think about what happened before, you know, it makes everything, it raises the stakes, and it makes everything more dense, you know. And same thing, I think with Andor. What we are hoping is that you, when you see the second season, the end of the second season, if you go back to Rogue One, you'll see a different film.
Okay, we're going to dig into this now. Okay, so the line "Kill me or take me in" at the end of the first season was such a beautiful line, and it really, and the way you delivered it, and it just, you know, it's a shift. It's a huge shift for him, and then he goes off, and so where do we pick up in season 2?
Still a very conflicted man, someone that knows that he has to be part, that he has to like become, part of this movement, that the cause means something, that there's an opportunity for him to be part of something better, to bring change. But there's a lot for him to learn. There's a lot for him to also sacrifice. Very little events are gonna show him that he could be different. But he has to believe, you know. He has to believe in himself. He has to believe in the strength of the numbers, you know, that a revolution represents. And he has to meet many characters. It's gonna be a very rich second season because you were introduced to many characters in the first season, and there's so many characters that we all know have to come and be part of this for Rogue One to happen, right?
Yeah.
So it is rich, it is intense, and I don't know if in the first season we moved through 1 year. Now it's 4 years.
Yeah. So talk about sort of how the time jump. For each.
There's 4 years before Rogue One. That's what we're gonna cover, and every 3 episodes is a year. So every 3 episodes is like almost like a film, and there's a time jump, and then we go to the next year, and then a time jump, and the next, and then the next, and then it's Rogue One. So it's 4 years, 5 different planets. Again, it's so intense, rich, and diverse in every possible way, also because we introduce you characters that now you care about, that you have a connection with, no matter in which side they are of this moment in the history of the galaxy, right? We care about them, so there's a chance to go deeper on them and finish the arc. Tony Gilroy is great at doing that. He doesn't miss any opportunity, and he doesn't forget about his characters. Every character is gonna have its moment, and I can't wait for people to watch.
Is the cadence of the show and sort of, is it going to feel bigger? Like, talk about the world that Tony creates in this season as opposed to season 1.
It's bigger. I don't know if you remember Ferrex as a place. It's a city. There's so much happening. Well, this time there's so many Ferrexes. There is many planets and many different communities we get to visit. And because of the time jumps, also the life of these people gets more and more complicated, right? So yes, it is going to be intense, complex, and very emotionally, very, very full, in so many ways.
Okay, so the end of this season is obviously the end of the series.
Yes.
And it leads directly into Rogue One. So
directly.
Is it the moment that Rogue One starts? Like, where are we going to leave this season?
I don't know if I should tell you this.
I think you should.
No. Yes, I will. But because there is the first scene we see of Cassian in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that scene. He goes and talks to this informant, right? So yes, we are gonna finish just minutes before that.
Wow.
And that's why I suggest that you don't see the last episode without having 2 hours to then watch Rogue One straight away, because it is, and that this is the beauty of Star Wars and what Lucas has done, right? Lucasfilms, this opportunity to go like, okay, we're gonna take this format that allows you to tell in, I don't know, 12 episodes, all the information you need to watch a film, It is a different language, and film becomes different if you can answer all these questions. Right now, you know exactly who Cassian is, but when you watched for the first time Rogue One, you just saw a guy that you had no clue.
Right.
His accent probably was like the first piece of information you had, but there's no information about Cassian in Rogue One.
Right.
And now we're gonna let you watch Rogue One with all this information and this backstory, right? So I think it's cool.
So which Rogue One characters, you said it's going to lead right up to the beginning, but which Rogue One characters are we maybe going to get a tease of any of them along the way in season 2? Any of the Rogue One characters coming in for season 2?
Definitely they are. And it's not just one, but I'm not going to say who's coming back. I think one is pretty obvious, which is K2.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We know K2 has to be part of his life.
We got to see the meet cute.
We have to understand how come such a tool, an imperial tool, can become such an important part of the rebellion, right? And K2 is crucial for New Hope, right? To happen. So we're gonna see how K2 becomes part of this of this team, and that seems a very obvious connection. But there's so many other characters that are gonna be part of this season that I'm sure you miss as much as I do.
Riz Ahmed has to show up in this. That makes perfect sense.
Sadly, you're gonna have to wait. The beginning of next year will give you bring you all the answers. But I can say that as an actor, I was pleased to reconnect with so many people that I worked with 10 years ago in Rogue One. You know,
I was going to say, how emotional was it for you that you played it and now you're playing right up to that point? How wild was that for you?
There was a very funny moment when I saw Alan back on his stilts, you know, and that crazy and dumb suit he has to wear, and his hat, and it was just so I was so pleased to be next to him, you know, again. The connection I had with Alan during Rogue One, with Felicity and with everyone, but with Alan, we just love teasing each other, you know, and I miss that guy. And it was so nice to be with him on set in London, again, far away both from home and his family. And I'm glad I got to reconnect with him and the many others you'll see that I won't tell you today.
Okay, not the Rogue One, but real quick, the relationship with Bix. Where is that this season?
Oh my God. Be ready. It's I mean, obviously, if you, I'm not gonna spoil anything. If you see Rogue One, clearly, I mean, in this second season, there's a potential goodbye coming or something, right? Because Bix is not part of Rogue One, so. But I'll ask you for something. We tend to do this with Star Wars because we know so much. We want to know everything before the time comes. I urge you all to be patient and watch it with all the expectations that you have. Don't try to predict anything. The beauty, at least I'm a film fan because. Patience was required, right? A film was being made and you heard about it and you had to wait. And there was no information, there was no internet for you to find out what was the actor wearing or what song or which musician or which location. You had to wait to the moment that you had the opportunity to be on a cinema with a crowd, someone was projecting and the answers were there. I love that feeling, you know. Of going without knowing anything to let the screen kind of surprise you. I think that magic event is needed in our lives, and I'm not gonna help you or anyone to
I actually concur because the best movie experiences I have are movies that I didn't even see the trailer. Yeah.
Before you, and also the bad ones, you know, you had a complaint with the guy that was in the cinema, you know, whoever was behind those decisions. You could go to the box office and say, what are you doing? I mean, I just lost 2 hours of my life. But you had to trust, you know, whoever was programming a cinema, you know, and there was again something magical about finding out all those answers you need with a group of people, you know, instead of by yourself in your phone while you are doing something else probably. So let's be patient. I mean, we've been working 10 years in this show. You can wait a few months.
This has been a therapy session today with Diego Luna, ladies and gentlemen.
And this is not just for Andor or Star Wars. It helps.
I feel like you're trying to tell me something here.
No. I'm telling my son who's there.
I know.
This.
On his 16th birthday.
Looking at you, but hoping, we turn our cell phones off and we go more to the movies.
Okay, last.
Yeah.
We're asking everybody today, other than your character, what Disney character would be fun to play?
Fun to play? It's... I'm probably not gonna answer what character I would like to play because probably a great actor already plays it. But I tell you what universe I would love to go and visit. I would say The Lion King. I would say The Lion King, and it's fresh because the film is coming beauty beautiful idea of having films start by animals. You know, that's kind of cool. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Congratulations on season 2. Everybody turn their phones off if Diego has anything to say about it.
Please do.
After this interview and after watching season 2 of Andor. Thanks.
Thank you.